So I've talked to Deadroad about this like vision that I had with Cry and Enemy about this round table 1v1 elo based system, right? Yesterday, after the whole Cloudful discussion, Minnie was super involved, and he actually followed up with me about this like document. It wasn't the Cloudful situation. It was when we were talking about MREX Walk This Way score, and he sent me a document that kind of like went more in depth. I hope I'm allowed to actually share this. I'm sorry in advance if I'm not, but I thought this was insightful, right? So, chat, we talked about the MREX performance on Walk This Way, and Minnie and his friend basically outlined a bit more information about it, as well as outlining the philosophy behind this new PP, the new PP system with combo scaling removed. Okay, so they got the actual stats, right? It's 11 what's called all plays are with 11 100s and 727 combo, right? The actual correct figure to account for slider and drops. Top play number and profile PP gain are as if he sets scores of equal PP value on his account currently, made just using Bathbot. They would actually be less in combo scaling removal because he gains profile PP and more scores in his top plays, which makes sense. It's a weighted system, right? So, if MREC were to FC, all right, with 11 100s at a 727 combo, it would be worth a grand total of 2,437 PP, right? It's a fucking 12-star, right? What do you expect? The point of discussion was the fact that they got MREC got, what was it, 11 misses or 13 misses? I forgot how many misses they got, but it was a lot of misses where it was around 1,300 PP, I believe. And it was my opinion that fall off isn't harsh enough, okay? So the philosophy that Minnie was explaining to me that this system is working towards is the following. I'd like to clarify my view on what the perfect PP system is. No farm. In an ideal system, a player should, assuming they are perfectly well-rounded and consistent, set the same PP value on every single map that they play, regardless of length or star rating. In this belief, it doesn't matter what the accuracy, miscount, or combo of a score is for balancing, just the difficulty of obtaining the score. It doesn't matter if the score has 11 misses. If it has the same difficulty as any other 1300 PP play, it should be worth 1300 PP. Although this is likely impossible due to the amount of info plus computing power for PP calculation, I think it is the best viewpoint you can have to end up with a balanced PP system, because the entire goal is balance. And this view is what is basically where I realized that I was wrong. Okay? This makes complete total sense, all right? If I'm a player where my skill level is that where I should be able to set 900 PP plays when I'm at peak performance. That means every single time I'm playing at peak performance, I should be setting 900 PP scores. It doesn't actually matter if the map that I'm playing is 12 stars or 11 stars or 7 stars. As long as the map has a maximum of greater than or equal to 900 PP, assuming that I'm playing at peak performance, I should be able to get 900 PP. And this kind of makes sense because 1300 PP kind of fits right into MREC's profile. And I guess it's up for MREC to decide whether or not this is a peak performance in his book. In my opinion, all right, based off of what I've seen from that man, he could actually get something close to an FC. I'm not sure if an FC is really... I'm not sure if an FC is a literal moonshot here, but I feel like after watching that replay, it would not surprise me if he did get something close to it, right? Like something within like 3 to 5 misses of it, right? And so because of that it's because I feel like his peak performance could be even higher. That's like offsetting and giving me like a sort of bias. But assuming that his score on this is peak performance, which Minnie also explained to me that the accuracy on this score is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm completely underestimating just how difficult it is to get the accuracy that Emmerich got in this play. That this does actually seem pretty fair for a player of his skill level. Like, yes, a map can be worth a map can be even more difficult, but if he's playing at peak performance, the overall score that he gets and the PP value that he should be rewarded should be around this range. So, yeah. Just want to set the record straight. I was wrong. So combo scaling is good. I think it I think the removal of combo scaling is fair. If your main priority is a more fair, more accurate system for a player's performance, for a player's skill to be represented in a number, having combo scaling removed makes sense. However, I feel like there are some other emotional aspects of this discussion that aren't being talked about so much. There's a huge cultural expectation that's been created by the community of this drive towards full combos, of this drive of like, yo, dude, it's more akin to like a speed run, right? If you make a mistake, the run is dead. Retry and go again, right? There's like this culture that's kind of built upon it, and I feel like that's creating a sort of bias, or maybe like making people feel that this is more foreign than it is. Combo scaling getting removed is a more fair system, 100%. But as long as the system still rewards full combos, like still has a significant incentive for players to full combo, I think it's still okay. Because look at this. The difference between a 1 miss and a full combo on this is 300 performance points. That's pretty significant, right? There's a clear incentive that if you did 1 miss, it's worth going for the FC. The only difference is that that 1 miss doesn't matter if it's at the end of the map, at the beginning of the map, a shit miss in the middle of the map, on the hardest part of the map, on the easiest part of the map. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it happens. What matters is that it did happen. Now, that I still feel like is a fundamental flaw. In my opinion, I feel like the perfect system would be able to incorporate the difficulty at which a miss happens, and then punish you more if you missed on the hard section compared to if you were to miss on the slow section. That would be a more perfect system, but that's also a lot more complicated. A lot more variables need to be understood. Yeah. That's terrible. Yeah, it's hard. No, developers have discussed why this is an awful idea. Wait. Where? That is not a more perfect system at all? Huh? Could you please explain why? Or can you link to sources as to why? Combo scaling should exist. It should be nerfed heavily, in my opinion. Depends on your priorities. It depends on your priorities. Tsun Yoku can explain. Do you mean this guy? The vision? Okay, listen. Okay, so after talking with Minnie about this subject, the what's it called, the walk this way miss penalty analysis, and after they explained to me like, oh shit, this philosophy, and it does make sense, and I actually agree with it now. Okay, we eventually talked about like my idea for this matchmaking system. And he got me connected to the performance points off-topic Discord server, where we also talked about the vision, okay? And then from that, it seems like there are people who actually want to see this happen. I've had this idea, but and like it's a long shot to actually have all the pieces moved to make it happen. But to give a rough explanation of what this is that imagine this, right? Imagine Laser Grand Arena, except in a matchmaking based system. ELO, right? On a custom library of music, separate from Osu's ranked system, okay? This custom pool of songs would be made just for this elo-based system. And in this elo-based system, the matches would be made under this cumulative score format. So, you know, maybe 3 songs get picked from the library for this 1v1 system. From that library, those scores are accumulated and played out, and then whoever wins rises in elo and drops and whatever. And that would be integrated into the roundtable as like the roundtable branding to have that tournament format also be for the invitational, have that also be for what's called LAN experiences, etc. Right? And so just focusing on the elo-based system of it and the scoring system from it, I feel this system only works if, one, combo scoring is removed. I had this idea literally like years ago, right? So so combo scoring needs to be removed, which now is in that it's happening. And also that difficulty needs to be understood, or like the context of each individual circle needs to be understood, or at least like context around a certain pattern, right? So if someone messes up on a hard part, that they're punished more compared to messing up on an easier part. So this literally happened last night, or this happened last night. Currently talking with the dudes. But yeah. So I'm genuinely curious, all right? I'm pretty sure I just got one guide, but wait. The reason why 1v1s are a good idea, it will give any players the opportunity to get a feeling that currently only is available to top players and tournament players. Forces them to worry about this particular play, no relying. Yeah, I think everyone can agree that 1v1s would be sick. The fundamental idea behind why I want 1v1s to happen is because I believe, as a content creator who has made a shit ton of videos, the best performing videos have always been videos. Well, there's a trend that my best performing videos are videos that involve other people, whether it's a tournament setting, whether it's inviting them on call, whether it's having them snipe other players' scores, like in the Osu Hitman video, whether it's the Battle Royale lobby, where we have a bunch of different players playing the same song and having people drop out. Like, the best performing videos have other people. It is a multiplayer environment. So the question is, if my idea is right, that players want to see and want to engage with more multiplayer environment scenarios, how do we create a system that allows for a multiplayer environment to happen, that has clear incentives for you to engage with it so that it survives long term, and that it could, you know, make a genuine change in the community. So that's what this is about. We'll see if it actually goes anywhere. It's a long shot. It's a long shot. But yeah. Elo cup of the day / week for the win. Will never stop preaching, Nyan-san. But what is the incentive for people to keep playing that? The reason why I feel like this would fit perfectly in the context of the round table is because the clear incentive is like the round table invitational is like that end goal for like the best of the best of the best players. If we can create a system similar to like Face It, where we have seasonal rankings that have like cash prizes, assuming we solve the revenue issue, that's a clear incentive. If there are if there are content opportunities, maybe we make a more casual based system where and this idea was just thrown around, something similar to Tetris, where like when you play in a 1v1, if you hit certain sections of the map, you can send garbage or force mods onto your opponent for a certain amount of time. Who knows, right? These are all just random ass ideas, but the idea is like, we want to create multiplayer experiences. Multiplayer experiences that people can actually care about and invest in long term. So yeah. You should definitely talk to Elektronix, dev of Elite Botics, which is currently the most used bot for elo-based matchmaking based on different maps and mods played. I was trying to tell you that yesterday. You could talk to them about maybe setting up something like you're saying. So, from what I understand, okay, after talking with the guys here last night, what we're trying to do is something that is a lot more complicated. Like, there are a lot more moving parts. Yeah, we could talk to electronics to help us on like the early stages of just getting like that, but we're not concerned about this. We're concerned about everything else. You know what I'm saying? I also what's it called? I reached out to Kiwick. He's the guy behind OSU ranked lobbies. I made a video about OSU ranked lobbies a while back, right? And he was also interested in like, you know, getting involved with the project. And so that's not my concern. My main concern is like, is this an OSU laser rule set? Is this a client that people download? Is this a web interface that someone clicks on and does stuff? What about the music? How do we reliably get a stream of custom music created so that we have an ever-growing library? How do we incentivize mappers, okay? How can we create, should we have different skills represented? At the moment, there's a bunch of different, like, map pools of maps that specifically challenge a skill. Should we have, in this experience, like, should we have skills be, like, a big push? Like, there are all of these different areas that, yeah.